but many do the true false questions always wrong. I change only one part, the meaning different. That for question one, lecture one, now go to lecture two. Calculate raw data and clean data. Okay? And for this example here, wrong. Your friends already told me this one wrong because you need to divide 100. Remember? Because this one not yet divided 100%. So need to divide 100. And this one show you how to calculate the raw data. Raw data different with raw rate. Okay? Clean data different with clean rate. Okay? Depend on the question asked you calculate data or rate. So this one shows FASTQ format, FASTA format. You see the difference. Okay, FASTA. The question asks you FASTA or FASTQ. In the Q score here, the Q score, I have to interpret the Q score. Q30 that means 1 error in 1,000 B score, or accuracy 99.9%. 21 in hundreds, or 99% of Q score. Understand Q score. Here, the definition of raw data or raw rate, clean data or clean rates. That's the definition. You see the difference. You understand the question asked you, the raw data or the clean data. Consensus sequence give you multiple sequence. And then you identify consensus sequence. I already explained. Okay, you base on the more common neural time. The more common neural time. That's all for literature. Trace. You study primary database and secondary database. Make sure understand the difference primary database and secondary database. So this lines explain secondary database also run primary database. Okay, remember, also run primary database. But once we call secondary database, we call curated. Curated. That's the keyword to identify secondary database. Cover primaries and make more information already validated. So that's why we call curated. If you see the definitions, secondary database, the primary database, and you see wrong, but if you see some word about curated or not, it manually curated. For a database, we also have assignment with searching. Database searching, remember, and searching genome. For example, human. You already done assignment. Okay, the number of genome are actually the same. And then attributes the accession ID of reference sequence database. Because here the results show you gene bank and reference sequence. You have to look at reference sequence here only too. Okay, you don't look at gene bank accession ID. For example, this one, and then it attribute reference sequence accession ID. You report this one, you don't report this one. Here the assembly. Okay, you report this one. GCF 001405, something like that. Click. If the question asks you common name of organism, look at taxon here. Okay, the taxons, the name inside the bracket, that's a common name. And then question asks you assembly statistics. If asks you assembly statistics about number of chromosomes. If number of chromosomes here, how many number of chromosomes? How many? 24. You don't report 23. Even your human only 23, but here number 24 because they count the database count X and Y different. Okay? You base on the facts, the number here, you don't think. You base on the output, you don't think, you right. That means you wrong. Okay? And another one, because the questions ask you reference sequence database, you don't look at gene bank database. Okay, because the output here the same, but some parameter not the same. Okay, number of chromosomes here 24, and ask you and 50, and ask you and 50. You remember and 50 scaffold or contact. Okay, ask you and 50 scaffold on contact. Continue. If the question asks you number of genes, assembly statistics does not show you number of genes. You have to go down, annotation. And annotation tell you gene how many, protein coding how many. Continues. Ask you bus score, and the bus score report the single copy 97.9%, duplicated 0.9%, fragmented 0.5%, missing. Ask you completeness. Completeness equal to single plus duplicate. Okay, that completeness. C represent for completeness equal single S plus D. You don't need to calculate, you copy this one. C 98.9%, X 97.9%, D. You copy this one. You don't need to calculate. But explain the completeness equal to single plus duplicated. You have to report on. Report this one. C 98.9, and then X 97.9. You copy this one. Crack on for lecture 3. That way, searching actually large, you will perform large, but easy because I already tell you which large go, not unknown large, okay? Because you run with the open-ended frame finder first, and then you continue with large protein. But that I mentioned, if you plug directly from open-ended frame output, it doesn't work. You have to repeat many times. Otherwise, you copy the sequence into the blast in NCBI. For the blast, you local alignment or local alignment. Last, local alignment, remember that. I repeat many times, many lectures, I emphasize. Last, use local alignment, okay? Keep in mind, local alignment. And then, how blast should work? The idea based on work, and the work size will be different for nucleotide 11. Proteins, 5. The main idea here, the work size of protein small. For the nucleotide, large. That's the idea. Okay? even you don't remember the exact number, but you should keep in mind the number for nucleotide, large, number for protein, small. Okay, keep in mind that. And after that, you study palm matrix and then blossom matrix. Where the matrix? And for the palm matrix, followed by subspace. The blossom matrix also followed by subspace. For example, this one. Blossom 18. 18 indicate how many percent? 80. And 80% here, identity or difference? Identity. Okay? For the palm here, the percent not, the number of palm not indicate percent here. And percent here, different or identity? Difference. Okay? And then for the palm number, high number indicate what? Different or difference. But high number in blossom indicate identity. Remember, opposite between two matrices. For the difference, also add the other word. For the other word, for the difference. The other word. Also the same meaning with difference. Diversity. But in terms of evolution, can you develop what? Divergent. Develop. Distance. High or low distance. And for the plants, I already explained about secreted thread. Okay, secreted thread. Secreted thread. That means DNA molecules, not DNA strands. DNA strand only three frame for the E values. Also arrange E value. Maximum E value. Maximum